cookies. Hi, I'm Allie.
And I'm Becky.
We are registered dietitians that believe in the power of food as medicine.
In today's video, we are going to be talking about real food sweeteners and sharing our approach to keto baked goods, as well as making the low-carb chocolate chip cookies from the Anti-Anxiety Diet Cookbook.
Yes, this is definitely a favorite in my household and probably a favorite recipe of a lot of our followers and listeners of the podcast. It is a fantastic cookie that is a fat-fueled treat. It has a fat-dominant profile from coconut oil, coconut butter, almond butter, and it provides gut-supporting nutrients like gelatin and collagen. And as we discussed in a prior video, it does not use non-caloric sweeteners, which can disrupt the microbiome. Instead, it uses whole real food ingredients to lightly sweeten it, still keeping you in a ketogenic state, serving as an indulgence, and maintaining that more savory palate.
Yes, this is a cookie recipe I think you can feel good about making even once a week like you and Stella often do.
Yes, totally. So let's get started with the ingredients. The first thing that we're putting in is almond flour. So I'll take my dry ingredient bowl here, and I'm putting in 1.25 cups of almond flour. This is a blanched almond flour, so it's not going to have the skin of the almond intact. That's going to make it a better texture for baked goods. I prefer using almond flour because it's less inflammatory than a grain-derived flour like an all-purpose flour or even a whole wheat flour. We know that these are actually devoid of nutrients and synthetically re-enriched, which is not optimal, especially for a population that has MTHFR, because there's folic acid in the grain-based flours, and that does not work if you have the genetic mutation. Also, the grain-based flours are going to be high glycemic. They're refined carbohydrates. Whereas with the almond flour, you're going to get fiber, fat, and you're going to get whole food nutrients, including vitamin E, antioxidants, and a nice amount of protein.
That nutrient density is so key. And let's go ahead and dump in our baking soda and our sea salt as well.
So 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. This is the Redmond real salt. So we are getting all of those trace minerals, and it is not going to be that sodium chloride refined table salt.
And then I'm going to go ahead and add to our dry ingredients the Further Food collagen, about 1 tablespoon of collagen. So we're getting some good added protein there, as well as gut support, hair, skin, nail, and joint support, and actually about 1 teaspoon of the Further Food gelatin. This is going to give a nice chew and texture to the cookies. And we have an entire podcast episode actually about the benefits of collagen and gelatin, where we get into benefits for hair, skin, nails, joints, our vascular integrity, even reducing cellulite, which I think is a big sell.
Yes, when both of us recorded that episode, we felt pretty compelled to incorporate collagen or gelatin into our daily repertoire. So I'm often adding a scoop or two to my coffee in the morning just to make sure that I get that connective tissue boost.
Oh yeah, and I like to get on the gelatin gummy train, especially with this baby coming. I'll take all the connective tissue support that I can get.
Yes, most definitely. So that's all we have for the dry ingredients. Let's move forward with our wet ingredients.
So over here in our wet ingredient bowl, I have 1 pasture-raised egg that's been whisked ahead of time. This is going to add some fat and protein as well as bind these cookies. And you can check out the link below to our frittata video where we go deeper into the health benefits of eggs.
Yes, as well as why cholesterol can actually be medicine versus something that you want to avoid. I'm going to be adding in 3 tablespoons of almond butter into the wet ingredient mixture here. Now, this is providing more healthy fats as well as fiber to our recipe. And it's important when you're selecting almond butter. This is a store ground almond butter. So it's just actual almonds that are going through a mechanical process to break them down. It's really important that your almond butter does not have added fats such as palm oil, which we see in a lot of products, or added sugars. Just almonds and salt are the only ingredients that you'd want to look for, or just simply almonds.
Yes, so the grind your own at your local grocery store is often the best way to go to ensure there's nothing added there.
All right.
And then next up into our wet ingredient bowl, I am adding about 2 tablespoons of softened coconut butter, as well as 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. So we're getting a really hefty dose of healthy fat.
Yes, so the coconut butter, as opposed to the coconut oil, will have more of a robust flavor profile. It also is going to have a little bit more fiber because it has some of the meat of that coconut fruit intact with the fat, whereas the coconut oil is going to serve more as like a liquid fat. Both of these were melted though, so that they are more pliable in this recipe, and we can easily stir all these wet ingredients together. As far as the microbiome is concerned, the coconut provides caprylic acid and monolaurin and lauric acid. And these are compounds that are actually antiviral, antifungal, and antimicrobial, which can really support a balanced microbiome.
Yes. And then last up here, we're going to be adding our sweeteners. So don't call the keto police on me yet.
Yes.
I am adding, you guys, an entire tablespoon of some molasses here, which I think is a sweetener that really gets ignored even when we're talking about the baking world, unless we're in the holiday time frame making like gingerbread or something like that. But this is actually a very rich mineral source. So we're getting some calcium, we're getting iron, as well as B vitamins in there, and then some dark maple syrup.
Yes. So when we're talking about whole foods, the Blackstrap Molasses is extracted from cane. And when we're doing that extraction process, it's much less processed than a table sugar would be, or even like your brown sugar that actually is a refined sugar that just has a little bit of molasses added back into it to retain that moisture. The Blackstrap Molasses is a less processed product, and like Becky said, provides so much more of that nutrient density. And then the maple is just being extracted from the sap of a tree. So these are much less processed than something like erythritol or monk fruit or any of those processed non-caloric sweeteners. If you're interested in the top 5 reasons of why we hate non-caloric sweeteners, even within a low-carb ketogenic diet, check out the video linked below.
And then let's go ahead and throw in our vanilla extract.
Vanilla extract as well, a teaspoon here. So that's going to add a nice aromatic contribution to the recipe.
And I find using extracts like that, like vanilla, you would normally use in a baking recipe, but those can be really helpful with this palate reset, where you'll actually notice that vanilla tastes sweet on its own if you were to add it to a smoothie or a shake.
Most definitely.
And then final ingredient, I think my favorite part, may have snuck a couple of these while I was chopping, is these Who Kitchen 70% chocolate gems. So I've gone ahead and chopped them up. So we'll fold those in as our last step.
Sure. So I am mixing in the wet ingredients into the dry, and I'll start stirring. And when you're looking for a chocolate chip, you want to make sure that it is free of soy. So you want to make sure that it does not have soy lecithin in it. And you also want to make sure that the sweetener is of a quality source. So the Who Kitchen uses coconut sugar as its sweetener, which is also going to provide some nutrient density.
You can check out the link below and use the coupon code AllieMillerRD for 10% off.
And you also save 10% with Further Food if you're looking at their collagen or gelatin using the same code AllieMillerRD at checkout and the link below. So I've got all of the wet ingredient mixed in with our almond flour and the rest of those dried ingredients. And we have a really nice cookie-like texture going on here. So I think it's time to add that chocolate, Becky.
Let's do it. Get all those little bits. Oh yeah.
All right, so stir this in. So now that everything's been well incorporated, Becky is just using a scooper and doing about a tablespoon scoop on non-bleached parchment paper lining on your baking sheet. We're gonna pop these in the oven. The oven's been preheated to 350, and we will bake them for 10 to 12 minutes, checking them at 10 minutes. All right, so I checked them at 10 minutes and they needed just a little bit more time. You can see at the 12-minute mark, they look absolutely perfect where all that chocolate is melting out. I kind of flatten each cookie, so I'm gonna do that with my spatula, and then I'm going to let them cool on the baking sheet to ensure that they get nice and stabilized.
Yes. And if you love this recipe, check out the Anti-Anxiety Diet Cookbook for 80 plus keto-friendly gut healing recipes.
Of course, all using whole foods. And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you click down there and subscribe so you can stay on top of all of our food as medicine recipes, tips, and tricks.